In this video, I'm going to show you how to properly use the MetaTrader 4 trading platform, which is probably the most popular trading platform out there. Now, we've got people asking questions about different features of the platform, and although they have been trading for a few years now, not everyone knows how to properly use the platform, like I said. So that's why we've decided to add in this course this video to actually show you what to look for once you download the platform, once you install it, what are the different features. I'll give you the best tips and tricks so you can take full advantage of the program. And to be honest, I think that everyone has to learn how to properly use the platform before they even start trading, whether it be demo, but especially before trading live. You need to be aware of all the buttons and all the options that you've got on the trading platform. So once you download it and you open the installation file, what you have to do is, now one of the most common questions is whether you could have a second platform on your computer. So let's say you've been trading for a while, you've got a demo or a live account already on MetaTrader 4, but you want to download another platform which you might use for a different account, or maybe even for the same account, but you've got multiple monitors, couple of monitors, so you want to run the same platform on both monitors. Yes, you can do that, but what you have to do is, before you click next, you've got to go to settings, and what you have to make sure is that this new platform that you've just downloaded is not at the same place with your previous platform. So my previous platform is on local disk C, and that's why now I've chosen D, because I want a different installation folder for my second platform. Okay, hope that makes sense. Now I'm going to click on next. And as you can see, we are now installing the trading platform. We've just got to wait for this to load. Once that's done, it says congratulations, we are waiting for you. That's when we click finish in order to open the platform. Once the platform is loaded on your screen, now you have to choose your server in order to log in into your trading account. As you can see, your broker could have multiple live or demo servers, so make sure that you choose the correct one, which should be on your email. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to be using this one. And then you can either log in into your existing trading account that you probably have already, or you can open a new live or demo account. Since I've got one, I'm now going to copy and paste my login details that I've got from my email right here, and then we click on finish. Right. Now we are logged in into our trading account, and what you can see down here is that we are actually connected to that server. This is the connection status window down here. So if you are logged out, it will say that you're offline. But that here means that we're logged in and we are ready to trade. If you want to switch over, to another demo or live account, what you can do is you can come to file, top left corner, and then you can go on to log into trade account, and it's gonna open this little window right here where you can switch from demo to a live account, or in between any demo and live accounts in general. Okay. So once we've done that and we are now looking at live data, we're logged in into our account, we're ready to trade. What I like to do next is to get rid of all those instruments that I've got loaded by default. As you can see, they're full of indicators. It's something that I don't like using, and to be honest, I like to use different chart styles. So what I'm going to do is, by clicking the X button on each one of them, I'm just going to get rid of them right now, and then I'll add whatever I need. Now I've got clear platform, and from this button top left it says create a new chart. Click on this button, and then let's say I'm gonna add just one instrument for now, and it loads the chart by default. It's got some indicators on it, some weird colors. So what I like to do is to set up the chart the way I want to look at it. Okay, by clicking at the right button on the empty space of the chart, I can go to properties. And from here, I can change all those colors. So if you go to color scheme, we've got a few of them set it up by default. I like to use the black and white one. Okay, but not just that, I like to have my bull candle in a green color, this one here, and I like to have my bear candle in a red color. Okay, you can check these out, change the color of pretty much everything. You can switch over to this window here, see what kind of options we've got, but as of right now, I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm going to get rid of this indicator here, and I actually don't want to see those volumes that I've got down here. I mean the green lines. So from this window, common on properties, you can check off the volumes button, and now they won't be down here. Okay, so the next thing I like to do is I like to get rid of that grid that I've got on the background. I like to have a clear background. So again, right click on an empty space of the chart, and you can see this button that says grid. The shortcut is to use your keyboard with Ctrl+G. Now that's the way I want to look at the chart. It's really clean, really simple, and whatever levels I'd like to have on the charts, I'll add them myself later, but I don't want that grid to be, behind price action and, just confuse me. Okay, so what's next is, the zoom in and zoom out buttons right here. Now, what we recommend to everyone is to zoom out on max and then zoom in twice. Okay, that's how you should be looking at chart. You can see enough price action data to properly do your analysis, and at the same time you can easily see those candles. Of course, if you don't like it that way, you can zoom in a bit more, but that's the way I like to use to look at a chart, and that's how works best for me, and that's how I can find the best opportunities. Now something else is those two buttons right here. It says shift end of the chart from right border, and then you've also got this one, scroll the chart to the end on tick incoming. So what that means is if both of those are active, you will be able to look at price action this way. That's the best way to look at it. If you try to scroll to the back, the platform will automatically scroll the chart back to current price action. So if you don't want that, then you can click off this first button, and then you can scroll easily without automatically going back to the chart. So let's say you're checking historical data, see how price action was doing in the past, and then you can again click this button and it will immediately go back to current price action level. Okay, I suggest that you always have those two active, and whenever you want to check something, then just click that one off. Okay, also we've got a couple of toolbars here that kind of squeeze in the chart. So what I like to do is I'm going to move those up here by clicking with the left button of the mouse, holding, and then just drag it up here, right? I think that's a bit better and it looks pretty neat. Okay, so whenever you're looking at the chart, if you want to have a bit more space right here, so you can forecast future price movement, you can grab this little tick that you've got right here. Don't know if you're able to see it, and then you can just drag it to the left. And as you can see, this is just going to open this space a bit wider, letting you have a better vision for future price action. I like to have mine like this. I think that's good enough. Right, so that's all done. Now, once we're all done with setting up the chart and we're happy to trade using this style and color scheme that we have, we can save that as a template. And every next time that we add another instrument to our watch list, it will load the same way. So that will, obviously save us a lot of time instead of every time having to delete indicators, setting up a new chart, and so on and so on. So how do we do that? There's a button up here that says templates. And as you can see, by default, we've got, loads of templates here. So instead of that, I'm going to save this template that I've just created. And as it is going to be my default template, I'm just going to replace the previous default that we've had when we install the platform. So if I click save, it will ask me if I want to actually replace this default template that I had downloaded with the platform. So I'm happy to do that. I'm going to click yes. And now every time I add another instrument to my watch list, it will load the same way. So like I said, this is very helpful, very useful, and it will definitely save you a lot of time when you're setting up your platform. Okay, now down here you can see your watch list. You can add as many instruments as you wish. What I like to do is to have the majors first, basically the pairs including the US dollar, because I trade them the most, and then add any minor pairs after that as well. And the next step is to save our watch list with our template as our main profile. So what do I mean by that? Now, I always recommend to everybody to save all that into a specific profile, because what could happen is if you're trading on the default profile, then every time the platform gets updated or if it gets deleted or anything like this, you will have to set up all that together again. Okay, and like I said, it's going to take some time. So what we like to do here is to save our saves time. So I'm going to show you how to actually save that into a separate profile, and then you can have a different profile in case you want to trade different pairs, or you want to test out different strategies. So this is the main logic behind having different profiles. You either want to test another strategy, or you want to trade different pairs which are separate from those that you have down here. So in order to do that, we're going to use this second button right here, which says, let me just, profiles, right? Click on that, and then you can say click on save profile as. We're going to just type in test. We're going to click OK, and you can see down here it shows you what profile you're currently using. Okay, so you can switch your profiles from here, or again you can come up here and then click on a different profile. So let's say we've got a different one where we're trading other instruments, we're testing out different strategies and so on and so on. But as soon as we want to go back to our main profile, we just click down here, go back on test, or you can name it default or whatever, and then you're right back here in a matter of seconds. Alright, now until the rest of this video, we're gonna add some more stuff to the platform, but before that I want you to get familiar with each one of those buttons and see what they do and how we can use them. The first one that I'd like to show you is the view button right next to the file button, top left corner, and from here you can change the language of the platform. Now, whatever you like to use, you will have to click on that language, and then you will have to reset the platform, and the next time you open it, it will be in your native language. I'm going to leave mine on English. Okay, so moving on to this button, which is the market watch. We currently have it open. Is basically this menu right here that shows us all the instruments that we can trade. Okay, so if we want to add another instrument to our watch list, we can use this market watch here, and sometimes by default you won't be able to see all of those instruments. There's going to be just a few of them. So if, let's say for example, you have your market watch like this, and you want to add more instruments, because obviously the platform provides you with a lot more than that, you can then right click on any of those, and then you can go to show all, and this way you will get the access to all the instruments that you want to trade. It's not just forex, there's commodities, there's stocks, crypto and stuff like this as well. So if I have to be honest, I don't like having this on my chart at all times. I just get rid of that one, and whenever I like to use a different instrument or add another instrument, I can either come up here to create new chart, and you can add another instrument from here, or again you can go to the market watch window, and you can add it from here as well. Okay, moving on to the next button, and this is the data window button. So what that is when you point at a certain candle, it gives you all types of data for this candle. You can see the lowest value, how much volume there was in this candle, what was the close price, the open price, and so on, and it gives you that data for each candle that you want. But I don't like having this data window on my platform as well, because if you look at the little windows down here, which are now empty, whenever I, go to a certain candle, I get the same information. I got the opener price, highest, lowest point of price, where it closed, what was the volume and all that, just next to that, connection status bar. Okay, so after the data window, we now got this navigator, and this is something that we're going to be using, often. So it's good to know what that is. The navigator window basically allows you to switch from one account to another. Could be, a demo account, it could be a live account, whatever it may be. You can switch to another account from here, and this is probably the fastest way to do that. And also, I think I showed you earlier, you can go to File and then go to Log into Trade account. Okay. Also, something else that we can do from this same window is to add indicators and expert advisors to our platform. Now, if you click on indicators, you can see we've got trend indicators, oscillators, volumes, and so on and so on. We've got quite a few of them, and all of them, they come by default with our platform. Okay. And down here, we've got the option to add some expert advisors as well. Now, if you don't want to use any of those, then that's fine. You can actually add your own, for example, indicators that you have developed yourself, or indicators that you have bought from someone. So what you can do in this case, in order to add it to your platform, is you've got to go to the MetaTrader button, which is right here. If you click on that, then what's going to happen next is you will get this window. Then you can go to indicators, and if you right click on that, you can then go to open folder. So any file of indicator or an expert advisor that you have, you will have to find the folder which contains, the indicators or the expert advisors for the MetaTrader, and you have to put it in here. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click X on that. We're going to go back to the platform, and I'm going to show you how to add any of those indicators. Say, for example, the MACD indicator. So you can double click on that, and then you got the indicator window. If you want to add it straight away to your chart, you can click OK, or you can go through the settings of this indicator, and in case you want to change or set it up a certain way, then you can do from this window. Also on visualization, you can only have it on, a couple of time frames, on certain time frames that you want it on. And then let's say if I want to look at this indicator on the hourly chart only, if I click OK, and then I go up to the 4 hour or down to the 5 or 15-minute time frame, it won't be there. It's only going to show on the hourly time frame, or the one that you've chosen. So let's say all time frames. We click OK, and right here we've got the indicator. Okay. Another way on how to add an indicator is to just grab it, drag it on the chart, place it on there, click OK, and again, now you've got another indicator on here. In case you want to delete it, right click over the indicator, delete indicator. Same for this one, and it's also the same for all expert advisors as well. Double click on that, and then you can add it to your chart straight away. Now, before you add any expert advisor, in order for this to work automatically, you've got to click auto trading. So you've got to turn that on before you add the expert advisor to the chart. Okay, that's important. Remember that one. Now, the next button is something very important and something that we're going to be using on a daily basis. I'm talking about the terminal button. Now, if I click that on, you see that my terminal was down here and it's now gone. So I want to activate that. I want to see it back here on the chart. And what the terminal shows us, it basically shows us, what is our current account balance, our equity margin, our account balance, and so on and so on. That's where we see all of our open trades. And also here on account history, that's where we can see all the trades, that are now closed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a trade now so we can see how it looks down here in the terminal. Let me just zoom that. Just going to extend that a bit, and I'm going to go up here at new order. Okay, so what we've got here is we have the symbol that we're trading. Okay, we've got the volume. We've got to type in the volume that we want to enter this trade with, and of course that is based on our stop loss, our take profit, the parameters of the trade, and not just a random number. Now, just because this is a training and an educational video, I'm actually going to use a random number, but like I said, every time you enter a trade, it is going to be with the right volume size. Okay, so then you choose a stop loss, let's say for example 1.1570, then you choose a take profit, let's say 1.15. You can add a comment as well, and this is something that I recommend that each one of us does, because whenever we go through our account history, which again is right here, and we go through each one of our trades to analyze our results, to find out, you know, what's wrong, what's right, and so on. If you add a comment for every trade, I mean the basis why you enter this particular trade, that will help you a lot when you're you know, analyzing your results, and that way you will spot a pattern or something that, you know, holds you back. You will be able to remove that from your trading, and that's basically how you improve your results in future. Okay, so always add a comment before you enter the trade. You've got the type, which is market execution, meaning that we're gonna enter this trade straight away, and then you've got either sell or buy by market. Now, if you have those values of stop loss and take profit levels typed in beforehand, you know, you can only do the right thing. So if I want to buy, since my stop loss is above price action and my take profit is below price action, I won't be able to do that. And as you can see, it says invalid stop loss or take profit, and that's because I want to sell the market right now. That's why I've put in a stop loss which is above current price level. So I'm going to sell the market, and now our position is active. You can see that down here in the terminal window, right? So as you can see, we now have, you know, the size that we used to enter this trade. This is the symbol, the price that we enter this trade at, our stop loss level, our take profit level, which you can actually see down here. Just going to move on to a daily time frame. I'm going to stick to the 4 hour. This is our take profit. Up here is our stop loss. You can place your cursor on the stop loss and take profit levels, and it will show you, you know, what potential profit you're going for, and also the pips amount that you're going for as well, and also the same for the stop loss, how much you can potentially lose on this trade and how many pips you've got to get to that stop loss level, right? It also shows us what the commission will be on this trade, the swap. And if you want to see you know, the comments, you can right click on your position, and then you can you know, include some of those features to be shown down here as well. So if I click on comment, you can see that I now have the comments for this trade as well. Now the swap, there's something that I missed when we talked about the market watch, and that's, if I go back to the market watch, let's say we're looking at euro dollar now. What I can do is I can right click on there. You can go to a specification, and it will show you what the specifications of this certain instrument are, such as, you know, what the swap is, you know, the opening hours of this specific instrument, all kinds of, you know, detailed information, something that you know, you need to know, especially when you're trading live. Okay, so check this window out. Again, you go up to a certain instrument, right click specification, and then it will show you this menu right here, and you can see what it shows you exactly. Okay, now there's also another way on how to you know, set up your stop loss, your take profit. So I'm gonna get rid of the Navigator menu because it's something that I don't normally use that often, and I'd like to have my chart on the full screen. So whenever I need it, I can click on my Navigator menu or market watch or whatever it may be, but I like to have my chart like this. And to be honest, I don't even like to have my terminal on, but since this is what we're talking about right now, I'm going to carry on. Now we've got our stop loss and take profit levels set, but you can change them at any time by double clicking here, and it says modify order. Okay, so let's say we're going to change that a bit, or take profit as well, and then I'm going to click on modify. Okay, so it's all done now. That's how easy it is, and there's actually another way on how to do that. Now, since down here is my take profit and this is my stop loss, I can just grab my stop loss and I can drag it a bit higher if I want it to be at a certain level, and I can do that manually. So I'm just going to drop that, and I get this message which says one-click trading. So what that is basically, if I want to turn that on, then every time I move my stop loss like this manually, I'll be able to do it straight away. Or if I don't do it, then I'm gonna have to set it up by, you know, entering those numbers manually as well. So that's much easier. So I'm gonna accept the terms and conditions, then I'm gonna click OK, and so you can see now you can move your stops and take profit immediately without having to modify your position from down here. Okay, so if you want to keep that on, you know, it's much easier. You can do that. Or if you want to turn it off, then you can go to Tools, Options. You then have to go to Trade, and it down here it says one-click trading. If I check that off, then again I will have to confirm that I want to you know, modify my stop loss and take profit levels, okay, every time, right? So I like to have my one-click trading on at all times. So again, Tools, Options, Trade, and I'm just gonna check that. I'll accept it, and I feel like I'm all good now. I'm gonna have my stop loss down here, my take profit down here. And why is it a good idea to actually, you know, not have the one-click trading active? Is because let's say you don't have, let's say you're looking at your terminal like this, you've got the window down here, so anytime you get a notification from Windows, or you know, someone texts you, and in case your notifications comes down here at bottom right corner, sometimes you might want to get rid of that notification, but you know, accidentally to close the position. Okay, I know some people that have had this problem, so for them it's much better to have you know, the one-click trading off, because then if you have it off and I want to close this trade, I will have to confirm that again. Okay, whereas now I have my one-click trading on, and if I close this trade, it will close immediately, right? Something else that is also important, so I'm going to open another trade now. Now since I have my one-click trading on, I can actually come up here on this little arrow, and then I can enter a trade from here straight away. Okay, so let's say we're going to be using 0.2 lots. I'm going to sell the market again, and I'm already in a trade. Right now, a very common question is, how can we enter how can we close our trade partially? So let's say I've entered with 0.2 lots and I want to exit this, you know, half of this trade. Let's say I went into profit, I'm already halfway to my target, so I want to collect half of that profit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click here on the size, on the volume that I entered the trade with, and right here what it says 0.20, and for example, I want to close half of my position, so I'm going to put in 0.10, and then I can do click on close. And as you can see, I still have an active trade with only 0.1 lots. And if I go to account history, this is the one that I just closed with 0.1 lots, right? And I've only got the half trade left here. And if you open a trade with, let's say, 1 lot, you sell here, you know, you can take partial profits 10 times of this 1 lot, because the minimum that you can take is 0.1. Okay, so I can close this, and now I've got 0.9 left, right? I want to close this position again with about 60% of it, close, and now I've only got 0.4 left. Okay, something else with the trading terminal is, you know, like I said, I don't like to have it active, open on my chart, because all the time I'm seeing the profit window. There's, you know, a couple of things that you can change, because that will play with your mind, play with your psychology, and sometimes in a bad way. If you're in a big loss, you don't want to see those numbers here, because they'll just put you down. So you can right click on there and you can see your profits in points. Okay, instead of actual money, you will see that in pips, right? So this is one way to, deal with this issue. And there's another way where you can just close your terminal window and you're still in those trades. As you can see, they're still active, right? Or if you want to look at your P&L window, profit and loss window, you can then have your terminal open. You can double click on terminal here on the left side of the screen, and it will just minimize it right here. It won't show you what trades you're in, but it will show you your current equity, as well as your account balance, margin, free margin, margin level, and all that stuff. Okay, whenever you want to have a look at it properly, you can just drag it, or again, you can double click here on the white space and it will show back up. Okay, now I'm gonna close those two trades and we'll go back to our account history. Right here we can see all the trades that we've taken and are now closed. You can have a look at them, but I see that we don't have the comments on there, so I can include the comments as well. And you can also choose for what period of time you want to see your account history. In this case, we're looking at the all of it. And what else you can do is you can actually get a detailed report from the platform. So I'm going to save that here. And as you can see, it shows me this, detailed report of all of my trades. It also shows me the comments to those trades, so that's why I said it's important, because right now we don't have that many trades because I've just opened this demo account. But whenever you're looking at your live account where you're going to be taking trades all the time, and whenever you're looking at a report of 200, 300, maybe even more trades, it might be very confusing as to why you entered a certain position. So that's why I say always add a comment to your trades. Okay, down here you can see what is your gross profit, what is your drawdown, what percentage of the long positions you've won, what percentage of the losing positions, short trades, pretty much everything. This is really a detailed report, and it shows you everything that you need to know. And once you have a look at it, and you've had some and you've got a bit more data, more trades that you've taken, you can really try and find out what's wrong with your trading, and is there something that you can improve on. Okay, that's where it shows you what leverage you're using on this account, your account number, and so on and so on. And to be honest, that's pretty much all when it comes to the trading terminal. That's all we're going to be using on a daily basis. The trade window right here, where it shows us our current trades, and also the account history whenever we want to check something on our closed trades. And before we close the terminal, here is also where you're going to be seeing any pending orders that you have set up. So for example, we're going to go to new order. And this time we're not going to enter a trade with market execution, but we're going to set up a pending order. Okay, again, we're looking at the euro dollar here. Now we've got a buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, and sell stop. If you don't know how to use those, make sure to go onto our website and you can find out. But let's say, for example, we want to buy at a higher price. So if we try to set up the wrong type of pending order, it won't let us do it. Right, it says invalid stop loss or take profit. So we're gonna have to change that, and once we've done it, we can then place our pending order. I didn't set up a stop loss and take profit, but since we're buying, then our take profit is going to be above current price levels. I just moved my entry, but let me just get it back here like that. I'm gonna go to modify, take profit, need that at a higher level. Stop loss needs to be below current price levels. I'm gonna go to modify, and it's all good. From up here we can switch over the time frames. Now whenever you got your chart squeezed in like this, you can just double click here on the vertical scale and it will reset the chart for you. But that was because we are too zoomed in chart. Okay, and this down here is our pending order, which is still not active, but once price touches our entry, it will trigger our pending order, so we're gonna get into a trade. At any time, if you want to cancel this, you can just click on exit and you don't have that pending order anymore. Okay, so pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Once we're all done with the trading terminal, I'm now gonna close that and we're gonna carry on with the next thing. And so if we carry on with the two bars up here, what we've got next is from here we can switch the type of our chart. It can be either be a bar chart, candlestick chart, or just a line chart. I'm gonna leave that on a candlestick chart. Zoom in, zoom out, something that we've already seen. Now this button that says arrange windows as non-overlapping tiles is pretty nice, because depending on how many instruments you're looking at, you could be looking at one instrument on multiple time frames. From here you can actually adjust it the way you want to see it. You can only have for example 4 instruments that you're looking at, and this way you can look at all 4 instruments at the same time, depending on what type of analysis you do, and so on and so on. At any point you can just double click on any of those instruments and get back to it. Okay, this button right here is the indicator list. So I showed you how to add an indicator to the chart from the Navigator menu, but you've also got this fast access button right here. From here again you've got the trend indicators, the oscillators, and so on. This is something that we went through already. This toolbar lets you draw on the chart. You've got a vertical line, you've got a horizontal line, you've got a trend line. If you look up here, you've got the Fibonacci tools. You can add a text to the chart, and there's in fact more features which, if you want to see them, you can just right click on any of those. You can then go to customize, and those are all available features that you could take advantage of, and the selected is only what you have up here. So let's say, for example, if you're using eclipse or rectangle, you can add those two up here as well. So whatever you like to have on the toolbar, it has to go from available right here in selected. Okay, now you can use those as well. And of course, if you want to delete something, again, customize, and then you just double click on it and it will go back to the available list, and it won't be up here. All right, also the time frames, I think I've showed you how to switch over the different time frames. You can do the same if, let's say, you don't want to have the 1 minute chart up here in the toolbar. You can just double click on it and it will go to available, and now as you can see, it's not up here. You can also change the place of each time frame. So let's say the 5 minute you want it after the monthly, you can just drag it down here, and it will show up right here. So I'm just gonna go and leave it back as it was. Right, something else that you can do as well is to actually use the step-by-step button, and that's something that by default it won't be in the toolbar up here, but I think it's a very useful feature. This is more when you're actually back testing a strategy manually. So let's say we go back in history, and this is our step-by-step button, which the shortcut for is the F12 button on our keyboard. And if you look at the last candle right here on the right hand side of the screen, every time you click this button, it will reveal one candle only, and this way you can backtest the strategy. And let's say you see that breakout and you say, okay, I'm going to be waiting for a pullback to this level and then I want to buy. So you can move the chart step by step, basically candle by candle, and wait for that pullback and see if that happens and what would you do in a certain situation. So like I said, very useful feature. You've got to go to customize, and it will be on the available list, so double click on it and it will show up here in the toolbar. Right, now as you can see, we've got the mouse, just a normal cursor, but we've also got the crosshair, and this is something that is used pretty much on a daily basis, or at least I like to use it. So in order to activate this, you can click Ctrl and F on your keyboard, and that's how it looks, or you can just select it from up here. Okay, so what that does is you can measure a certain move in the market, see, you know, how long it took for that move to develop and how big of a move it is, right? So let's say from this low down here, right, left click with the mouse and then just drag it all the way up here to the top. So what that shows me, first it shows me that move contains 95 candles. On the hourly chart, this means 95 hours. Then in the middle, that value, that number is 234 pips, basically 2,342 points divided by 10. This is 234 pips. And also the level that I'm currently pointing at, which is 1.3645. Okay, so again, very useful one. You can measure moves like this. So let's say from the high up here down here to the low, we've got 104 pips, 17 candles worth of price action. Okay, now since I've got my chart cleaned up and ready to go, whenever we proceed with our technical analysis, what we mainly use is horizontal lines to determine our support and resistance levels, right? We also use trend lines to, you know, point out a certain trend. And if you want to change the color of those, or maybe the thickness, whatever it may be, you can right click on it. You have to select it before that. So double click on the trend line or the horizontal line, whatever it may be, right click, trend line properties. And then as you can see, you can change the style of that trend line, make it a bit thicker. You can write down a description, and every time you point to that trend line with your cursor, a text will pop up, you know, reminding you what this trend line is. And then again, I'm currently looking at the hourly chart. Maybe I don't want this trend line to be on the daily, so I only want this trend line to be seen on the hourly and the 4-hour chart. Okay, then if you click OK, as you can see, that will now change. If I go up to a daily time frame, I can see the horizontal levels, but I don't see the trend line. I will go down to the 4-hour chart, and that's where my trend line is. Right, another tool that we like to use when analyzing the market is the Fibonacci retracement tool. Okay, you select the appropriate tool, left click with the mouse from the highs all the way down here to the lows, and as you can see, by default I got my trend line levels in yellow color, so that's pretty hard to see, very difficult. I can't really recognize those levels, so right click, Fib properties, then you go to Fib levels, and instead of yellow, let's say we're going to be looking at a green color. Okay, again, here you can choose on what time frame you want that to be seen. You've got the parameters, and if I then click OK, you can see I've got my 100% Fib level, 61.8, 50%, and what you can do is, you know, you can do pretty much anything. You can add another level if you want to. For example, I see that I've got one of those levels missing here, which is the 0.764, here 76.4 level. And here is a cool tip. Whenever you're looking at you know, the Fib levels, you can actually add a percentage and a $sign next to the level. Okay, so what that is going to do, it will show you not just what Fib level you're looking at right here, but it will also show you the exact level, the exact price level. Okay, if I click OK again, as you can see, now I don't only have the 61.8 Fib level, but I also know what is the exact price level, 1.3720, right? So that's pretty useful, especially if you know, you're using Fibonacci in your trading. Also, instead of the horizontal levels, I like to use zones. Okay, so say for example we've got a resistance zone up here, and right here you've got the rectangle properties where you can do pretty much the same thing, right? You can change the colors, you can really do whatever you like to. Okay, now moving on to the next feature of the platform. If you've just downloaded and you just started trading and you want to backtest a strategy, or let's say you want to go back in time and, you know, check out price action, how was price doing you know, some time ago, there's a big chance that you might not be able to load loads of data. Okay, so what that means is you will have to download that data, and the way you would do that is you go to Tools, then you've got History Center, click on that, then you've got to choose the instrument that you want to, load some history for, download some data for, double click on it, and then you choose the time frame that you want to backtest or the one that you want to see some previous data for. So let's say the hourly chart, and what you have to do then is to just download whatever you need from this button right here, and it will then start downloading all the data that you would need for this specific instrument. Okay, now looking at the chart like this, or if you're just trying out all the features and all that stuff, and right now your chart has loads of indicators on it. Let me just add a few more, right? And we now get confused because we can't actually see price action very well. And this is something that I do not recommend, to use loads of indicators and then to draw over the chart, because as you can see, at one point you just have lost price action and you don't even know where price is. This is not how we analyze the market. I would say that's wrong. So what you can do, you want to go back to your default template. That's when you would actually use your default template again, and we are all back to normal on a clean chart, ready to start analyzing, ready to start trading. And finally, let's say you've done your analysis, you've got all the technical levels on the chart, and you want to share that chart with someone, or maybe to save it for yourself, whatever it may be. What you can do is you can go to File, then click on Save as Picture, then you can choose Active Chart as is, and that means it will only make a screenshot of your chart. You then click on OK, and it will send you over to this page right here, where you can find the screenshot of your chart. And what you can do is you can just copy the link from up here, or you can just copy the image straight away and then send it over to someone. You can download it from here as well. You can upload it on the MetaTrader website and share it with other people, whatever it may be. So that's also pretty useful, because sometimes if you carry on working with us, we might want to see your chart to see what levels you're looking at, and that's what we want to see, a screenshot just like this one. Okay, so that's pretty much all the basic features of the trading platform. Hopefully you like this video. If you have any more questions, anything that you did not understand, go back and watch this video or get in touch with us. But definitely get used to using the platform, especially while demo trading, because you don't want to make silly mistakes when you start trading actual money.